Hey, what's going on, guys? So today I thought I'd do a mod to the JZX110. For a while now I've been wanting to do some performance mods, and the first step is basically doing some breathing mods, I guess. One of them is obviously the exhaust, making sure it's got a free-flowing exhaust. It's currently got the stock exhaust, full stock standard. It's got sort of a nice stock but deep sound to it at the moment, but it definitely doesn't have that 1J raspy note that I like. So anyway, this is one of the more cheaper exhausts. I didn't end up splashing out for something more dearer like a HKS or Blitz or anything like that. This is a ZSS, the model number is a TAC 202, which is made for the JZX110 turbo models. Now, the only thing that might annoy some people is I'm going to have to cut the factory rear lip. I'll show you in a second, but basically the factory rear lip on the JZX110 doesn't actually have a cutout for the exhaust. The factory exhaust actually dumps down. Some people like that. I most definitely don't. I'm definitely going to cut it. It's alright, I can always get another lip if I need to. They're getting a little bit more harder to find, but you can find them. Anyway, so this exhaust is a full 3-inch stainless steel from cat back. I won't be doing the dump pipe and cat delete just yet. I'll do that later on down the track. The 3-inch leads to a 5-inch cannon muffler basically at the back, which then has a 4-inch tip. I'm going to open it up. The box is just here. So there's the box. It actually just came I think 2 or 3 days ago from Just Jap. They actually managed to get it for me custom because they don't actually sell the TAC 202 model, which is actually the one that comes through the rear lip. They've got the dump pipe version, which I'm actually not a fan of. So anyway, I'll open that up and I'll show you guys what it looks like. So open the box, this is what you get. A few gaskets here and bolts. The main sort of diff back, axle back section. And underneath, as I'll open it up, I'm pretty sure I think there's 2 more pieces. Hopefully it's the full cat back. If not, it may only have 1 piece, which is like a mid muffler type of section back, but that's alright. If that is the case, I'll have to get a mid muffler anyway, and a high flow cat in between when I do the cat delete. Okay, so that's all the pieces unboxed. Got a little bag of gaskets and nuts and bolts. That's the main diff back section, and I'm not sure which one's which, but I think that might be the actual cat back where the dump pipe connects onto, and then that leads to this section here in the middle. It's likely that I'll put a high flow cat there, metal cat, once I do the decat dump pipe. Now hopefully the exhaust is cool enough, because I was driving it before, but now I'm going to jack the car up, put up on stands, and hopefully start pulling a few of the bits out of the exhaust, and hopefully start taking the exhaust off. Alright, got the car in the air. And just a bit of safety advice, I guess. If you're ever working on a rear-wheel drive car, and most of you probably already know this, you should probably put some bricks or something at the front just to stop it rolling forward. Obviously there's no brakes activated at the front on the front wheels at the moment, and yeah, just keep in mind that when you are lifting up and putting down the trolley jack, it can roll forward and backwards, so just allow some space in front of the car and behind it. So anyway, the car's up in the air. Now I'm gonna start working on getting the rear section off probably. So I think that runs from the muffler all the way to the mid muffler, a bit further down there. So I can get that section out. Once I've got the rear section out, I'll start working on the front section. I think I may just have enough space to get the front section out. If not, I may need to put the jack on the front and just get that bit out. Alright, so I just sprayed some WD-40 on that front, on the front bolts, and I've got my trusty impact wrench here with an extension. Now I need a number 14 for those bolts, and some other tools have just arrived by the name of John. And basically I've got the rest of sort of my socket set sitting close by in case I need to access it. Might have benefited from actually lifting the front of the car as well, but I can just reach from the side, so it should be okay.
Goodbye, rear lip.
Goodbye forever.
Just take the rear lip off, man, so you don't have to cut it.
It's alright, John.
I'm here to support you, man.
I already explained to the video that some people may not be happy.
Some people are not happy. These people are happy. Saves.
My extension. Just John doing John things.
Hold on. How's this gonna work? Oh, fat.
Nice, John. Come on. Having a bit of trouble with this bolt here. I got the other side off, but this one's been a bit of a nightmare. I think I've stripped one edge already.
You just span on the other side.
Just gotta be careful.
You got a spanner?
Did it get out?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, it should be loose now, right? Finger tight. Or not? Or
No,
just
this
rust tight. Just use this then. Can that fit? This will fit. Ratchet. No, don't worry about that one, just I'll have to hammer it.
Too small, man. Can't see. Oh. What's happening? I don't even know.
Alright.
I literally just rounded the fuck out of it.
Did you?
Looks like you just rounded it, Chris.
Mad jobs.
Yeah, I just rounded it. GG! Looks like you're just cutting it off, eh? It's too rusted, man.
It is, yeah.
Usually the case. If you can take
I'll
the dump up.
yeah, I can take that one off, so I can take the whole section off.
Yeah. That'll probably be the best way since you're replacing it anyway.
Yeah. Right. Change of plans. We're gonna go for the front dump pump. We're gonna go for the front dump pipe bolts. I've loosened them previously, so it should be alright. And we leave this one as it is. Might have to chop it off if I decide to sell it or something. I don't know. So I'm gonna move up to that spot from the other side. So I got the bolts off at the dump pipe and drop that section. Now I've just got to work backwards and take out all the little what are they called? Exhaust hangers? Grommets exhaust hangers. John's going to support that over there while I undo some of these grommets.
That one there? Yeah. Probably spray a bit of WD-40 to make it easy on yourself.
There you
Should be right.
go. So at the back we've got these two rubber seals that go around. That might be a little bit interesting to get out. Let's give it a shot.
Is the front loose?
Yep.
Camera's fully on the WD-40. Yep, all good.
Clean. Very good. Alright, she's down.
That's that alright?
Okay.
It's weird, eh? It's interesting. First time me seeing this one.
Yeah. So we've got both exhausts side by side. You can see stock exhaust was good, but definitely a bit of restriction. Two mid mufflers, heat shield, weight dampening thingies hanging off, and this one's pretty much just a straight through. So we might start from the dump pipe side, work backwards, and then the last bit will be the actual muffler end, which we'll have to line up and cut the lip kit. Is that right, John? Just lining up the first piece. I've noticed that there's a little gasket that I need to put on the dump pipe side. Came with 3 gaskets in the new kit and nuts and bolts, so I'll get to it. Yeah. But
Does it come out a little bit?
yeah, it sticks out from this.
That's probably the gasket. You probably don't need to put another one on. Does that cover it?
Just, yeah, should be right.
Yeah, just put that gasket on.
Yeah.
These are the cheap ones.
How loud do you reckon it's going to be on a scale of 1 to 10?
1 to 10. 9. Straight-through systems are usually pretty loud, man.
It'll be probably louder than my other one, eh?
Yeah.
Because that one had a high flow. Cat plane.
The other one was too close to your chassis, so it vibrated inside. It wasn't that loud outside.
Yeah. Did you hear the rasp? What?
Don't tighten it too much. Just hand tight it. Did they change this when you go manual?
Yeah, tail shaft. I have to get it cut shorter or something. Or made longer.
That's what she said.
Well, I'm missing a bolt.
Yeah. Not a bolt.
Nut spare. But there's 3 gaskets.
Should be
There was
6
only-
bolts.
Yeah, where's the other 2 bolts?
2 bolts here.
And then I put 2 bolts there. The gibbous on 2 bolts.
Fuck. You don't have 2 bolts?
I mean, I've got the stock ones.
I'll just use the stock ones. Same thing. Not used to this, you know.
Tight fit. Here's the WD.
It's too far now. Go all in or nothing. Oh. That's what the sound. You should just make a clip on that.
Okay.
Please don't. Gasket.
So the kit actually jibbed us on 2 of these bolts. We're just gonna run over to Bunnings and grab 2 quickly. Just got back, grabbed a couple of more bolts. Alright, so we got the exhaust on. But problem, it's actually made for the Mark II without the lip kit, so it doesn't actually stick outside of the lip kit. Shoe. Daddy shoe. So I'm actually going to take it to a friend who's going to extend the tip of the exhaust out, probably another 3 inches, and that should stick outside of the lip kit. And once I've got it extended, that's when I'm actually going to cut the lip kit at the right spot. So yeah, that's where we're at today. I'll update you guys when I'm done. Okay, status update. It's Monday. I've just gone and picked up the exhaust from one of our mates, David. He's just welded on an extended tip for me, so I've just got the exhaust here. You You can see it's roughly 3.5 inches longer, that tip, than it was before. The idea is to make it look almost like a straight pipe coming out the back. It is still 4 inches in diameter. So I've got a little silencer. I've got a little adjustable silencer that you can slide in the back. I will need to drill out some holes for that, but for now I'm just going to jack the car up and just sort of line up the fitment so I can start working on cutting away the rear lip, which will roughly be a small cutout somewhere around here. Okay, car's up on stands. I'm just gonna slide up underneath. Now I've just driven the car, so that's probably going to be pretty hot, so I'll just have to be careful of that. The other issue will be the rubber grommets, or the little hangers mounting onto the exhaust hanger just there. I'm trying to line that up because it's actually going to foul on the lip kit now because it's a lot longer. So I'll see what I can figure out. I'll just have to loosely put the bolts there and sort of loosely maybe zip tie it a little bit in place for the time being, and then work out where I've got to cut it. So I've got it sort of hanging there at the moment. Obviously it's sitting a lot lower than it should be. You can see once I put it up, once I cut the lip and put it up on an angle, it should actually have a decent look to it. So this is the little silencer piece. I'm just going to use the back of this to roughly line it up and sort of pencil in exactly where I'm going to be cutting, and then from there I can just use a bit of sanding technique with the Dremel to actually properly give it enough space that I need. The idea is once that's cut, I'll have to definitely get a carbon fiber little exhaust shroud or shield just to stop that area melting away over time. Okay, so I've just got the exhaust sort of half mounted up and what I've done is just taken a few markings, center, left and right, of where basically it will line up once it's fully tight. Now one thing I need to do first is cut away this little cutout. It's on the factory bumper, and if I cut there, nobody's going to see that little piece anyway, so that just gives me a little bit more room when I'm trying to push this back up to line it up with the exhaust hanger. It just gets in the way, so I'm just cutting that one away first, and then we look at marking out exactly where to cut on the lip itself. Okay, so I've just used a Stanley knife to cut that section away. Now that should give me some free movement to easily get that up into place and get a better marking when I'm doing the height, how far I need to cut the lip, that is. Okay, I've made my first marking. I don't know if you can see it, but it just travels along that line there. What I'm going to do is mark it out with painter's tape so that when I cut it, if the tool slips, it doesn't end up damaging any of the paint on the sides. So I'll do that. I'll get the Dremel out and basically, yeah, we just go for it and just cut that section off. I'll then align it, and we'll probably need to fix it up a little bit. As you can see, I left some extra space on either side, so it depends on where that sort of ends up sitting once I've got it tight with the exhaust hanger. Here we go. I've got a fair bit of a cut, definitely not straight, but that's what I'll be using the Very cool. That's what I'll be using the sanding tip for. Wondering if I can finish off this section just with this Stanley knife. Yeah, just like this. It helps doing this because it's such a destructive mod. Cutting this away. But I had already decided. And there we go, that's that piece. Now this is just going to be a rough test. If I can push that up. That's sort of similar to how I'm planning for it to sit. The only thing I want to check is, yeah, it's pretty much spot on, so you can see it just hits the stock bumper. I may need to trim a little bit off there, we'll see. But I think that's about right. It'll probably hang just below it, something like that. Alright, so the next step is now using the sanding bit just to clean it all up a little bit and making sure that it's actually as close as I can to getting it to be a semicircle. I did follow my line as much as I could, but again, while I was cutting, it didn't always go straight on the line. So let's see how much I can tidy it up. So that's where I'm at the moment. I've cut it out and I've smoothed it as much as I can. Now just to see where that sort of sits. So it's not a bad cut. I might have to go a little bit wider on the sides. Yeah, probably just the sides I need to go a little bit wider. So that's how it is at the moment. I still think the bumper, the stock bumper, is actually holding it back a little bit. I'll see how I go though. I can always redo that part later on, but I think it needs a bit of a chunk cut out of there too, or maybe I could use a heat gun and sort of push it back. But so what I'll do now, I've smoothed out the front as much as I could. I will go ahead and start bolting it all back up properly tight, and see if I can get the exhaust hanger to actually line up properly. I may need to use some metal clamps or something, or metal zip ties to sort of give it a bit more, to lift it up a little bit more basically. So I'll do that now, and I'll take off the painter's tape as well. Okay, I'm gonna pack it up here. It's getting a bit late. I've got it lined up, and it looks a bit funny at the moment. The only issue is I need to get smaller grommets that will push it up. At the moment I've sort of tightened everything up with this sort of height, but if I get those rubber grommets that hold the rubber grommets that are part of the exhaust hanger, if I just get smaller ones of those so I can lift it up a bit more closer to the bumper, that should actually fix all that up. So I'm going to leave it there for now. I'll continue this once. I'll go for a test drive actually in about 5 minutes. I might actually go down to Bunnings and see if I can get something just to pull the height up a little bit. But apart from that, came out pretty good. Fairly happy with that cut. It's as round as I could get it, and I will be putting a carbon fiber shield over that anyway. So yeah, that's where it's at. I'll update you guys once it's properly finished.